this is Todd Smith. Welcome to my first tutorial. It's going to focus on Korg poly mode sequencing in the Korg Volca Keys. Now, I'm going to focus purely on poly mode because I believe that it's a mode that not everyone takes full advantage of. So, I'm going to kind of go through my process of how I use poly mode, and maybe you can use that and apply it towards what you do. Now, there's two types of poly modes. They're both found on the upper knob, the big black knob. The poly mode that I'm using right now is all the way to the left hand side. It has that more typical synth sound. There's an additional poly mode called ring poly, but that's going to have a drastically different sound. And today I'm going to focus mainly on the original poly mode, the synth poly mode. Now, first thing you got to do is find an empty track. Once you find an empty track, you want to decide what octave you want to start on. I'm going to start on 8 today. It's generally where I start with my workflow. I'm going to try to make something similar to what you just heard. Okay, again, I'm on an empty track. I'm going to try to record. Alright, so if you didn't like the first thing you did, you can easily just delete it and keep doing something until you find something you like. And hopefully eventually you find something that you like. And once you do, you save it. So now it's saved onto a bank over there. You have 2 more layers to work with in poly mode. So now you want to go to a different octave and sequence again. And I'm going to drop down an octave to 18 and add a lower end. Alright, I like that. It came out pretty similar to how I had it before. But let's say you didn't like that. Rather than going function right and saving it, you're just going to go to your memory and reload the old save that you just did. So now you got rid of that bottom end. And you can sit there and maybe you want to go to a different octave and make a different approach. But you have as much room to play with and as much time to play with as you want, and as many cuts as you want, so there's no rush. Alright, so let's say you have a second layer you like. You just save it right on top of the first layer. So now you have a sequence that's really thick. Creates a really thick sequence. And so that's the great thing about poly. And you still have 1 more layer to go. And let's go above 8. 1 layer above 8 and create another sequence. hope that gives you an idea of how you can sit there and layer sequences with polymodal on the Volca keys. If you didn't like that, you can just drop down to your 2 layers again with that memory option I told you. Just don't save it. Get back to your 2 layers, you can do a 3rd layer again until you get to something like until you get to something that you're happy with. Then you save it, and you have a really thick sequence in poly mode. And a lot of times those even sound good in other modes. I'll give you a quick example. And you can just drop it right back down to poly. So it allows you to do really cool like build-ups and breakdowns and stuff like that. So I hope this tutorial kind of gave more idea of the full potential of the Korg Volca Keys sequencer, especially in poly mode. If you found this tutorial or video helpful at all in any way, please subscribe. I have an icon in the lower right hand corner of the screen. You can click that at any time in the video. Thank you very much for watching, and you have an amazing day.